Thank you for the opportunity. Today I'll talk about some perspective on COVID-19 in 2022. This presentation was made by Professor Usman Sumofren Tambunan and I, Manaman Huang. Today, until today, the world is still immersed by the COVID-19 pandemics. The virus is suspected came from a wet market in Wuhan, China. Until today, at least 275 million cases occurred and killed about 5.3 million people globally. Here we can see the nucleotide diversity in the SARS-CoV-2 genome. The S gene has the highest diversity compared to the other gene in the SARS-CoV-2 genome. It is becoming one of the biggest challenges in the vaccine development for SARS-CoV-2. The mutation has produced a lot of new lineage of SARS-CoV-2. Based on the WHO sites, there are several lineages that classified into variant of interest, variant of concern, and variant under monitoring. In this slide, we can see the lambda and mu were listed as the VOI. And in this slide, we can see the variants of concern. And here we can see the variants under monitoring. In this slide, we can see SARS-CoV-2 variants frequencies graph that spread globally on the top. The clade 20I, 20A, and 20B was the most dominating variant that spread globally at the beginning of 2021. However, since the Delta variant outbreak originated from India, it was quickly spread across the world and became the most dominating variant even until this time. Currently, from what we can see, the alpha, beta, and gamma variants are almost not detected anymore. At the end of November 2021, a new variant that originated from Botswana started to infect several countries in Southern Africa. Based on the previous report, the Omicron variant rapidly dominates the percentage of the sample. This caused WHO to change the status of the Omicron variant from VOI to VOC. The Omicron variant has a huge potential to dominate the SARS-CoV-2 variant in the future. Will the SARS-CoV-2 become less or more dangerous? Most likely less dangerous. Here is one. First is vaccination. Second is new drugs to treat COVID-19. And third is better knowledge about the virus. Vaccine is the most powerful weapon for us to protect ourselves from SARS-CoV-2 infection. In several countries, vaccination becomes a must to do several activities like traveling, working, etc. There are 9 vaccines listed by WHO for emergency use. And on 4th November 2021, the UK approved a new drug to treat COVID-19, molnupiravir. Today, several new drug candidates are being tested in clinical trials. Based on clinicaltrial.gov, there are 7,000 studies held to find new method or new drugs to treat COVID-19. Formally, we need to spend more time and resources to find and approve a new drug, vaccines, or methods to treat a disease. For instance, the polio vaccine needs about 20 years to be approved. Better knowledge and progress in medical sciences lead us to find and approve several vaccines and drugs to treat COVID-19 within 2 years. Better knowledge about the virus directly contribute to the rapid development of drug or vaccine discovery. On the PubMed.gov site, there are about 131,000 studies published about the SARS-CoV-2. And as what we can see here, the total publication about SARS-CoV-2 in 2021 increased than 2020. It is valid to assume that currently we have better knowledge about the virus. Here we can see the list of several countries that obligate vaccination. Here we can see the mandatory for all adults in Indonesia, Micronesia, and Turkmenistan. And here we can see vaccination is mandatory for government and private sector workers like Canada, etc. And here we can see the vaccination is mandatory for health workers in Australia, France, Greece, and United Kingdom. Will the SARS-CoV-2 continue to mutate? The answer is yes. Mutation arises as a natural byproduct of viral replication. RNA viruses typically have higher mutation rates than the DNA viruses. The virus mutates during replication in the human or host body. Mutations could change the way the virus interacts with its host, including the immune system. SARS-CoV-2 mutation rate is relatively slow compared to the other positive single-stranded RNA viruses. SARS-CoV-2 is known to be mutated once or twice a month on average. This is because the SARS-CoV-2 encoded non-structural protein that corrects some of the errors made during replication. Mutation rate doesn't automatically respond to the evolution rate. By having a better knowledge on SARS-CoV-2, rapid progress on drugs and vaccines development for COVID-19, and several policies that propose to limit SARS-CoV-2 spread, could we eradicate COVID-19 in 2022? Well, most likely no. Today, we could only eradicate one disease, smallpox, thanks to the widespread immunization and surveillance conducted in the past. The last known case of smallpox were detected in Somalia in 1977. Eventually, we will living side by side with SARS-CoV-2. I think that's all for my presentation today. Thank you for the opportunity and stay safe.